If you want to see how I made this amazing crispy orange chicken, keep on watching. So we start off by making a marinade for the chicken. So we're just going to make it straight into the bowl. So we're going to add some soy sauce. Then we're going to add in some mirin and some Chinese cooking wine. Okay, next we're going to add in some baking soda and some cornstarch. So we'll go ahead and get that all mixed up. All right, once your marinade's all dissolved, you're going to get some chicken. Now I'm using chicken thighs because I think it's better than the breast, and I've just cut them into chunks, you know, something like that. Now I did buy skin on bone-in chicken thighs, which that's all I could find at the shop, so I just took the skin out and cut the bone out, and then I just chopped them into those chunks. So gonna get all the chicken in there, and we'll just get it all mixed in. Make sure all the chicken is covered with the marinade, just like that. All right, once you've got all the chicken covered in the marinade, we'll set it aside for about 30 minutes, which is perfect because that'll get us enough time to get the rice and our dredging station ready. Next, we're gonna make some sticky rice. I've never actually made sticky rice before, but I know it's from a short grain rice, which I have here. In Australia, it's sold as milk rice. Now, considering I've never made this before, I feel like I need to wash my rice, but I'm not actually sure. So I'm just gonna wash it a little bit, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I'll give my rice a bit of a wash. Now we're just gonna fill it up to the corresponding number to my rice cooker, because of the amount of rice I'm actually making. Right there. Now we'll bung a little bit of salt in there. Now I'm just gonna bung it in my rice cooker, and let the rice cooker do its thing. So we're gonna make our batter, which starts off with some corn flour. Then we're gonna add some flour. And then finally, we're gonna add some baking powder. Once you get all your dry ingredients there, just give them a quick whisk to combine it. Now once it's combined, we're just gonna set this aside because we wanna add the soda water just before we're ready to start frying. So, we'll get the oil ready. Next, we're gonna make up the sauce that goes over it. So, I'm gonna make it all out directly on the scale here. So we're gonna add some stock. Next, we're gonna put in some mirin. Then we're gonna add some soy sauce. Next, we're gonna add in some sesame oil. We're gonna add in some sugar. Then we're gonna add some rice vinegar. And go ahead and grab your microplane. And we're gonna get some zest off of this orange. Just the orange, none of the white. Now you wanna go ahead and juice an orange. But because I didn't use a bowl big enough, we're gonna add the juice of the orange to a different bowl. And we'll just add it all together in the pan. Okay, to a pan, we're gonna add some garlic and ginger that I've just broken down on my microplane. And some spring onions that I've just chopped up the white parts. Once you're starting to get a little bit of color on your aromatics, we'll go ahead and add the sauce. Because my bowl was too small and I needed to add some cornstarch to it, I decided to add it to the orange juice. So we're just going to add a little bit of cornstarch in there, and then we'll get this mixed up before we pour it into the sauce. And add the orange juice, cornstarch to the sauce. You just want to go ahead and cook this over a medium heat until it reduces some and slightly thickens. So I've reduced it as much as I want to. Now I'm just going to add some salt to taste. The consistency I'm looking for me, I need it a little bit thicker. So I've just made up a little cornstarch slurry. I'm just going to pour some in. Now this has to be at a boiling point before it'll start to thicken. So make sure you've got enough heat in your sauce for the cornstarch to work. Alright, when you get the consistency you're looking for, your sauce is ready. Chicken's been marinating. Now we're just going to coat it in some corn flour. Just a light coating. Once you've got them all coated, just dust off the excess. We'll go through and get them all coated. So before we add our cold soda water to the dry mix, got to make sure you got your oil at temperature, because as soon as we mix this and mix it up, you want to keep it kind of cold before we put it straight in the oil. So we'll check our oil temperature. And we're sitting perfectly at 170. So we're going to tip our soda water in, and we're going to give this a quick mix. You don't want to mix this too long and thoroughly because you don't want the gluten to form in the little bit of flour that we got in there. I'm going to add a little bit more soda water to that. Now I'm going to add about half my chicken into the wet mix. It's about half. We'll get it all coated and tossed in, and then we'll head to the oil. So we're going to fry the chicken off at 170 degrees on the first fry. So we're just going to put them in, and then we're going to fry them for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. Once they look a little something like that, you want to take them out and let them rest on a rack. So I've got my oil cranked right up to around 200 degrees Celsius right now. Now we're going to add the chicken back in, but we're not going to fry for too long, just enough to get some nice color and warm everything back through. Don't worry about overcrowding the pan because the oil is so hot and we're not going to be frying for too long. So you can add all the chicken in at the same time. Just make sure that you know, your oil level is right. When you got good color on your chicken like this, you want to remove them to that rack again. I've got my sauce in another pan here. Now I'm just going to add my chicken all at one time. And once you got all your chicken in, you just want to get them all coated in that amazing sauce. Alright, all we need to do to finish it off is I've got some rice in my bowl, chicken on top. We'll sprinkle a little bit of sesame seed on there, a little bit of sliced green onion. Now I did sneak a little bit of a taste of the sauce in before, and the orange flavour's coming through quite nicely. Let's see how it goes. What more can I say? Crispy, orangey, sweet, Considering it's the first time I made some sticky rice, it's the perfect accompaniment to this orange chicken. I also made a vegan version with seitan. Go ahead and check out my shorts to see how I made this.